Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of The Shy, Season 6, Episode 15, Tower of Terror. Before I get started with the review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance, and it really would help me out a lot. So please, like the video. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving time in the Shy, so everyone's getting prepared for the holiday, and Rob has asked everybody to meet up at his house. He's over at Emmett's. He's asking Emmett. They get along really well. All the blended family, in fact, all the blended family are supposed to show up at Rob and Tiffany's house. They're going to host. Emmett really wanted to do it at his house to control things, but Rob has invited everybody. And you know how Thanksgiving goes. Sometimes more and more people get invited. There's going to be, I guess, Darnell and Damien is invited, and all the baby mamas are invited. You know, Rob doesn't have any kids. He only has one family member. His one reason probably he wants probably people to get together. His dad was recently killed, and this is the first time we see him since his dad was killed. And he seems to be in okay spirits. Tiffany thinks he should open up more. Alicia is telling Tiffany that just be patient, he'll open up to you. And he's a very honest guy. When he speaks, it's honesty. And Alicia is cooking because she don't like potluck meals. She just want to eat from everybody. So we see her in the kitchen cooking greens, cleaning greens. She's calling Tiffany by her name now, which Rob thinks is a good sign. Rob is back and forth to the grocery store because he's always forgetting everything. And then there is Thanksgiving at Fatima's and her family or her people. And we see that. And when she has her things, was it Thanksgiving dinner already at her house when Victor came in?
It looked like they were doing their Thanksgiving festivities a little early because it seems like in Chicago in the show, it's the day before Thanksgiving.
I know, that's true, because they had it all set up, but it looked like they had their Thanksgiving dinner maybe the day before Thanksgiving, where Victor shows up with Shad.
Shad wants a plate.
Yeah. Shad is gonna keep it real, and he's over there to ask her back to come to the house. He quit his job. He didn't quit his job, but he's taken a leave of absence because of all the stress and mental illness or anguish that he has because he's doing things he didn't want to do. He just got off from murder charges, a crime he didn't commit. So he looks a wreck. So he wants to get his Fatima back. I do miss his first girlfriend. I wish she'd come back. I can't think of her name, but she was definitely a better fit. She was just more of a real person. She didn't act fake and phony and pretentious like her life is in a soap opera drama. I like her better.
Her acting was a little better, yeah.
Yeah, she was just real. I think Jake even liked her better. Oh, speaking of additional Thanksgiving dinner preparations, Pastor Z and his unholy first wife is having Thanksgiving dinner. The list is growing, and they get like 27 people. And he's upset because she invited her teenage boyfriend, Jake, and he invited his little white bunny rabbit, Sarah. When they first start talking about Sarah and her coming to the Thanksgiving dinner because her dad is a big time preacher on TV, I thought they were talking about Sarah Jakes and her dad being TD Jakes. I thought it was them at first. But we find out she's just she's a white girl and works with him. And this white mega pastor is going to spend Thanksgiving over at Pastor Zeke's house. But anyway, apparently the unholy first wife is upset and maybe a little jealous that Sarah is getting a little too close to her husband, and she's saying something about it. But she can go off and, trope around with all these teenage boys that he is aware of. He just doesn't want them in his house. So there's a scene with Sarah and Pastor Zeke, and apparently nothing has happened, but they both know they want something to happen. A lot of sexual tension there. And again, she's supposed to be the first daughter of a preacher, and she's going behind a lady's back to possibly get with her husband. These Christians are too much for me. They're like swingers. They're just do whatever whenever, and then just show up on Sunday morning at church.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. I can't trust a soul. What else is happening in the world? We see Damien cooking the books, and his partner in crime knows that, the janitor who went to jail for 6 years for him. And we understand why he's mad. He's mad he did go to jail. But Damien, this teenage boy, while I don't know the guy's name, but
Half is what Emmett says.
Half.
Mm-hmm.
Damien slept with the guy that went to jail for him. He slept with his girlfriend, who maybe possibly fiance, because he called her his wife. It wasn't his wife, but Damien's doing that, and Damien's just about 18. He's about 19, 20 at this point.
He's like Jake.
Yeah, sleeping with older women, apparently, possibly. Huh? Damien is a little bit more than I thought he was. Cooking the books, good at math, sleeping with grown men's girlfriends, doing crime, all looking like he's,
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah. Boy, you
Funny.
really can't trust anybody. Maisha and Gemma told Lene that Brittany, Bakari's sister, is here to spy on Bakari. So Maisha, being a good girlfriend to Bakari, she tells him that your sister's here to spy on you. Duda's paying her, which really upsets him. He kind of knew something was up, but
not quite.
Yeah, he didn't know exactly. I guess he just had a feeling. And he kind of yells at her. He wants to know who told her. Who told her? It doesn't matter who told her, because first of all, you had a feeling anyway something was up, and she confirmed that feeling. And he thought really when she goes, I need to talk to you, that she was going to break up with him. The only solid well, he has solid people in his life, but Lene is a solid girlfriend to Bakari.
And his new writing mentor is also
Yes.
a guy around him.
I was going to say that Pastor, forget that. Professor Elliot is a good, strong support system for Bakari. They have submitted his writings to a publishing company. They have responded. They received a letter. He's opening it up in Professor's Elliot's office. He sent his manuscript in, and he's getting the letter. And unfortunately, they're passing on him. Often that happens. You get rejected far more than you get accepted. And especially with books and things like that, especially books. There's a lot of times you get rejected, a decline letter, but they put notes in there, I guess kind of what they were looking for, what he could do better. So that's helpful. And he needs to know that type of rejection is going to come. When you go out for roles in acting, you get a lot more, there's a lot of people going out for the role, so there's going to be a lot of rejection. Same thing. But I think he's taken it in stride because he understands it's constructive criticism. And so the rejection's not so bad that he's just turning his back on it. He's just going to learn from it, and the Professor Elliot is encouraging him to keep going, which is good. That's what we need in life. You need someone to help you find the path and set up goals and whatnot, and you meet your goals, you keep carrying on and have a support system along the way. So in a lot of ways, I know his circumstances is bleak looking somewhat, but there is a path for him to get out of, his dire straits or whatnot. So I'm happy to see that. So Brittany goes to Duda, and he's pretty much telling her, your services are not needed. She's all, I do have some information, because Bakari ain't doing much, but she says she has some information. So we didn't know what it was, but later in the episode, we see Duda get with Nook, and he fights Nook, and they're real fighting. He's beating Nook. He is talking about loyalty, and apparently he thinks Nook is not being loyal. He beats him up. He tells him, you have a side deal. And the only side deal I know is that weed business that he has with Rob and Alicia. Now, how did Brittany know that? Because who only knows about that except Rob, Rob, Tiffany, and Nook. So if that's the side business he's talking about, I don't know how Brittany knows it. Right? So she's giving him information. I don't know how she obtained, because Bakari don't know that.
She could be a potential buyer or something.
We didn't see how that came about.
That's something we're probably going to see in a future
episode,
potentially. Probably the next episode.
But he got beat up for that, and he says, I'm going to have to bench you. And Nook, his question is, for how long? If they have a different world. They take this beating, this physical beating, and he really has Stockholm syndrome or something to want to keep being around this man. There is no other pathway in life but Duda. It's just so, I don't know. Maybe things are just not explained, because I don't understand how they know about this. And so what? It's a weed business.
Not like it's cocaine.
It's not even, yeah. Stop caring about, you got bigger things to think about. You just had an attorney killed, a prominent defense attorney killed, and you care about a weed business? That much? And Duda is so in his feelings. He has aggressive sex with Bianca. Bianca looks like, what is wrong with you? What is going on? This can't be because of the weed business. Maybe you need a little bit of that weed so you can calm your butt down.
Just investigate that business.
Get some of that organic weed that Alicia's smoking on now.
You're gonna take it off.
Yeah. She said she don't do hood drugs, but Tiffany got her to smoke. And she said she hasn't done, did she call it reefer?
I believe she did.
She hasn't had reefer since college. And her and Tiffany are getting along a little bit.
Didn't think I'd see that.
I didn't think I'd see that. And Tiffany, I don't know if it's me. Either she gained a lot of weight. I don't think that's it. I think that girl is pregnant or just had a baby, because they seem to position her behind couches, behind bags, like they do pregnant people. So I don't know what's up with that. What else did happen on this show?
Duda decided to make a move on the Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett is they're getting ready for Thanksgiving. And it's the day before Thanksgiving night. And he's looking over the books a little bit. Not Tiffany, getting all his women mixed up. Keisha and little Ronnie are there, and they're about to leave the restaurant. And so he wants to look at his books a little bit. Keisha, what do I call her, Tiffany? It's Keisha and Ronnie. And they leave the office, and that's when Emmett receives a text. Time's up, he gets from Duda. That's what the text says. And as he gets the text, there's this loud explosion. And he runs to the explosion, and his car is blown up. That nice car he got, I think it was a BMW Mercedes. And we see a car seat in there. Emmett is scared and screaming. He thinks that Keisha and little baby Ronnie are in the car. And he runs to the car, and he's just very, of course, any human being, but your girlfriend and your step baby, kind of, sort of. And he turns around, and they're in the doorway. And he runs and he hugs them because he's so happy that they weren't blown up in that explosion that Duda would have done, because he doesn't care. Now, what I think Nook is going to take out Duda, because Duda doesn't know that that's his baby. And that's his only child. That's Nook's only child that we know of, the way he acts anyway. He was also invited to Thanksgiving dinner. But when he finds out that his baby that he's just known of for about a month was almost killed by the hands of his so-called boss, I think he could take him out. I think he can take him out.
If Bakari doesn't do it first.
If Bakari don't do it first. And then he's asking Zay to be his number 2 man. So I guess Nook was the number 2 man. And now he's asking Zay. Which is interesting, because there was a little scene with Zay and Kenya. A lot of little vignette scenes that didn't really amount to nothing. He was with Kenya, and she wants to know what kind of man he would be, what kind of role model he will be for her baby.
As she says that, he gets that text from Duda or call.
Yes.
And goes to be the number 2.
Is a good relationship more important to Zay than being a number 2 man to the bully of the city? I mean, it's not your baby, but what kind of man do you want to be? The kind of man you are is the kind of man you are in private. That's if you're a good person when no one's watching, you're a good man. But if you will need to go out and do criminal acts, and that's important to you, then that's the kind of man you are. And Kenya, that ain't a kind of man for your baby. Either your daddy ain't a kind of man for your baby either.
Really?
There was a scene with Rosalind and her deaf girlfriend, Serena. They're having a stroll down the street, and all of a sudden the girl pulls out a gun, the gun that is Duda's, and she shoots somebody across the street. Which was the best acting I ever seen of Candy, honestly. She was shocked and surprised that girl would do that, and she's upset because you're bringing negative attention to her. She likes to stand next to the throne, she says. She don't like to be on the throne because she wants all the perks without having all that, being the target. So why did this girl do that? The girl said that person was been following them all day. Oh, girl, you have to lose that girl. And she had a scene with Bianca, telling Bianca, if I go down, you go down. Go down for what? What did Bianca do?
She really didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Another scene was with Alicia and Shad. Their relationship's getting a little... It's still moving along, and they're, kissing and going on. Now, that's good. In fact, I always thought Jason Weaver, who plays Shad, was a good actor. He's a good singer. And him acting like he really got a thing for Alicia. Oh my God, guy. Who's about, 30, at least 30, 35 years older than him. I don't know.
I haven't seen much of that jacket.
Did he take it? Wasn't he mad about it? And he didn't want,
Yeah, I haven't seen him wear that jacket in a minute.
Yeah, that is true.
He was wearing that like every episode, I think.
Not too much more is happening. We have Nina. She's going to go off with the brat. I don't know what the brat does for a living, but she's on the road. And Nina is just going to up and leave and go on the road with her. And leave Lene? She said her friends are going to watch Lene in the house. Oh, and another small scene was Dom and Lene's brother making out. Wasn't he the janitor too at Smokey's?
What I see happening is him moving in with the girl from the shop, and Lene moves in with them. That's what I think's gonna happen.
All move into Dom's house because he's in a halfway house. And Dom kind of thinks he's cute, but the fact that he lives in a halfway house, I don't know how he's the janitor and the other guy's the janitor. You need two janitors?
Well, what if the other janitor has to go?
Oh, so Emmett can't employ everybody. So anyway, that might be because she doesn't. He says, you don't have any money. If I had a penthouse overlooking the city, then they could have a relationship. She says it would help. It does help. How do you think it makes her feel that she has to go out with a man who's less than her? Way less than her. It's just not a good feeling. Oh. First of all, she shouldn't even entertain it. You can think he's cute from afar if you think he's cute, but you got to have some standards. He don't care enough of himself to pull him out of this. If he don't care enough of himself, he's going to care less about you.
That was just about everything, I believe, from the episode.
From that episode. It was interesting. It was okay.
I'm really excited with this Nook storyline.
Yeah, Nook, you better step up. You better take him out. So who is going to take out Duda?
That's the season finale, if I've ever thought so.
Who's going to take out Duda? Let it be Nook, because what else? You have nothing else to lose.
Really?
We expect that of you. You probably don't care about doing time. Your kid is safe that you didn't even know that you had. And you do it for your kid. When you get out of jail, the kid will be grown and you could tell him that you took out the bully of the city. I don't know. But he got to go because I'm so sick of him. So anyway, that is it for now. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. We thank you in advance. But we got to go because why?
We got living to do.
Bye.